Welcome back. And 'tis the season for family gatherings and, of course, being able to experience and enjoy the holiday season, maybe seeing church programs, if you will. Maybe that was a tradition. But of course, it's 2020, and the pandemic has caused many people to have to pivot and think differently, including churches. And I'm so excited to introduce you to two pastors from Bell Shoals Church who are with us today, and Patrick Clark, Bruce Roberts. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. I mean, you said it already as we were just kind of catching up. Pivot is the word of the year, it feels like. And of course, a church service to celebrate Christmas. That means so much to so many people, especially at your church. But with the pandemic, you were like, what can we do different? And you're still touching people's lives. Patrick, explain what you've been able to do.
Like you said, each year at Bell Shoals, we do a big Christmas program. And this year, because of COVID, we had to really think outside the box. And so we wanted to make an impact on our community, but we knew that we weren't going to be able to do it in the same way as we normally do. And so we thought, well, why don't we do a film? That's something that we can share with our community. We can show across television and hopefully make a big impact. But we thought we just needed the right story. And so that's where my friend and fellow staff member Bruce Roberts came in. And we fell into his story, which is just a tremendous story. And it was perfect for what we were trying to do this year.
And Bruce, I want to get your thoughts first and foremost. We're sharing your story. And so before you kind of give us a summary of what this film's all about, and of course it's based on your story, why did you decide to say, yes, I want to be the subject of this? Because it's one thing to touch people's lives with perhaps a message, but being able to open the book, or in your case, be a part of this film and really open up your story, that had to be incredibly personal.
Yeah, for sure. During this season, it's obviously a time of celebration for a lot of people, but sometimes we can kind of gloss over that and realize that during this season, it's also a time of pain for folks. And during this season, the loss of loved ones, also just a general sense of hopelessness during this time. So an opportunity for me to share my story, but also to be possibly an inspiration, a source of hope for folks. That was very appealing, and it just kind of intersected with this opportunity, and I was glad to be a part of it.
Well, of course, giving people hope, again, nothing new to you, being able to your work as a pastor, but then sharing your story. What is it about your story? Kind of let people know what this is about and what you've overcome and how you are continuing to keep that message of hope alive.
Well, as a young child, lost my parents in a kind of a tragic murder-suicide situation at 8 years old, and just a windy road of growing up, and really in a lot of ways not realizing how that impacted me, that it actually impacted me a little bit more deeply than I realized. So during this time and later on in life, being just really coming in contact with the gospel and God changing my life, me finding hope, and just really being able to see what God can do with a life. And I just want to be able to share that with other people.
Patrick, what I really liked is, of course, you were introducing Bruce, and you said your friend, of course, your fellow pastor right there. You knew his story and hearing other people struggle. Why was it important for you to use this as your first film, by the way, use his story to be able to lift people up and really deliver a message that's so important to you in the church?
Like we talked about, this is 2020 has been a difficult year for everybody, and nobody has been immune to it. And to walk through Bruce's story with him, who he is, my friend, and which was another layer of difficulty, to walk through such difficult topics with him. But we wanted it to be a real story. All of us have experienced real difficulties. We didn't want this to be exaggerated. We wanted to be authentic. And Bruce was just, his whole family really were so willing to share and open up their hearts and to be really open and transparent. And that was really important to us, to create a really authentic story that connects with people. And I really appreciate Bruce's willingness to do that. And I really think it comes through in the film.
Well, I really appreciate the fact you're letting us to air this. Nothing Wasted gets to air right here on ABC Action News WFTS, December 17th at 7:30. And I want to point out, too, the whole film was done by your creative team at the church, which is pretty fabulous of the work you've been able to do. And again, thank you for thinking outside of the box. And now everybody in the Bay Area can watch Nothing Wasted. Gentlemen, it was nice meeting you. Merry Christmas to the both of you.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.